you know, NVIDIA is only at 100x or something like that, and this thing's at 1200.
Well, I mean, that profit number is a rapidly moving thing, so it could be 50 or 100 this year, right? Or even 200 if they're extremely lucky. But even then, what's 200 million in retail profit worth? 20 times? That's 4 billion. 2 billion in cash, you got 6.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing 4. That's a big problem. That's 50% downside. I don't like that. I want to save people from that. I don't want them to lose 50% of their money. Why? Because they can't do some math? Shkreli do the math for you, all right? That's what's up.
It would take you 1,000 years to get
at this. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not right. That's not right.
Like 1,000, just for example, if the PE ratio is 1,000 to 1, would it be really 1,000 years?
No, because at the end of the day, the 1 year of earnings that's close to zero, you're kind of doing this divide by zero error. What's the standard? You know, what's their normalized earnings? Is what's important here.
Hey Mark, can I ask a question?
Sure.
First time listening here, big fan, especially of federal prisoners. So I got a quick question to help me stay away from jail. I think you have a bit of experience. You failed a couple times, but let me ask a question.
Are you insulting me, or are you asking me a question?
Did it feel insulted? I don't think so.
Well, why don't you ask your question?
Okay, perfect. I hope you didn't drop the soul. But hold on.
Okay, all right, hold on. Listen, I don't know where the fuck you're from, but just for your accent, I would smack the shit out of you. Okay? Just for that. Second, your fake personal profile picture and your fake name, I would smack you again for that. That's 2 smacks. By now, your face is feeling a little red. Where I come from, real men, we use our names. We don't say weeds or some other gay shit like that. We use our real name. Because I'm a real man. And you can find me on 42nd Street anytime, any day. Alright? So, if you're going to act like you fucking know something or like you're cool, I'm going to put you in your place. Alright? Don't play that shit. You're making me mad. You're going to turn me to the old me. The old me is not somebody you want to know. Alright? I don't care that this is the internet. I'll go through the IP proxies, the tunnel browsers. I'll find out who the fuck you are. And I'll put you on blast. Alright? So now don't get me pissed off.
Great. I'm sure you didn't have that power when you were in jail.
No, I did, because I'm a boss everywhere I go. You know how many guys from prison were standing next to me like soldiers while I'm sitting there like this, sipping my coffee? And I would just point at a guy like you and I'd say, go fuck him up. They wouldn't even ask me a question. They would have a big smile on their face, like I just gave them a present. A big present. Your face to pummel. That's the kind of person I am. Don't get it fucking twisted. I'm a fucking boss. Right? You're a fucking ant. Alright? That's why I'm me and you're you. Don't fucking forget it. You nobody piece of shit. Get the fuck off my stage before I do something. Turn back to the old me, man. Hello? Anybody else want to talk?
I swear, the trolling. This is the reason. This is the reason why I don't let unverified accounts up. Stuff just tends to happen.
Yeah, I understand, but you know.
Can I try to? I think I kind of feel insulted because I've been.
Yeah, I don't think it's about verification.
I've been behaving, so.
Okay, one at a time. One at a time. One at a time, please.
I'm trying to redeem the faithless.
You're adults. You can do this one at a time.
Is it just me, or is the mic quality really, really bad?
Some people have mine or somebody else's. A lot of people were dealing with some bad mic quality.
Hey, Buttercup, how you been?
Hold on, one at a time. Listen, I know this weirdo keeps saying Buttercup and Sweetie and stuff like that. Listen, don't talk to me like that.
Sheepy.
One at a time. Go ahead, Matthew. We'll start with you.
Hey, thanks. Does anyone know in estimated numbers the number of people who were or are involved? Like, is there any way to figure out the number? I know we don't have a loose idea of dollars when it comes to people who are buying into GME or were during the squeeze, but has anybody ever bothered to go, I think it was this many thousand people who were really holding on to it for that?
You're talking about, hold on, so you're talking about the old squeeze or right now?
I was talking about the old one, and now I just assume it would be hard to figure out because it's not over yet. But yes, I'm curious the number of people, retailers, holding out hope and driving it. How many people are there out there like that girl who was going on earlier?
Well, here's what I'll say. Most of the shareholder base is retail. So very few sophisticated investors and institutions want to be a part of this, right? But there are people who are individual investors collectively. They own, I don't know, probably $7 billion out of the $10 billion worth of GameStop. Does that help? And then probably half of them, a third of them, something like that, are kind of that Looney Tunes conspiracy. Like, oh, I think there's criminals on Wall Street that are suppressing this or something. And then 2/3 of them are probably a little less crazy. That's my guess.
Yeah, from a percentage standpoint, that feels about right. I was just curious if anybody. I don't have the sophistication to like look at trades and add it all up and go, this is this many individual.
It's hard.
Accounts, you know.
I don't think it's really easy to do.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. It's interesting. They used to give gross margin by business line. So they used to say that hardware was actually their lowest gross margin, only 11%. Software was 24%. Pre-owned was 46%. So they make 4 times the money on pre-owned than they do on hardware. But pre-owned, I think, is dwindling, and they won't disclose anymore what they get out of pre-owned or what they get out of anything. They don't want us to have that information. So much for empowering retail.
I think Facebook Marketplace has eaten into their pre-owned.
I would think
peer-to-peer.
Facebook and everywhere else you can do pre-owned. You could list your game on eBay. Why do you hope the only buyers you have for your game are your local people who want to buy? I mean, much rather list on Amazon or Facebook. I mean, you get the whole globe of people who might pay a little bit more for your product than the local 65 people going to your local GameStop. You know, it doesn't make sense. Why would you ever use local
They
GameStop?
sell pre-owned games. So you guys are completely off on your topic here. They sell pre-owned games. So where are you going with this?
They buy the games from people, right?
They buy them and sell them.
Okay. So when I'm done with my Grand Theft Auto and I want to sell it, they pay like $2 for it or whatever, and they resell it for, according to this, a 50% margin. And why would I go to them when I can get a better price on Facebook or Amazon?
I mean, you have that freedom to do whatever you want there, Marty boy. But in retrospect, other people are going to go and trade their games because it's easier and convenient for the average customer that doesn't have the time to post it on Facebook Marketplace.
Sure. No, it's an alternative. I agree.
I don't even think the offers that they would give a customer are even comparable to 50% of what you could get from directly selling it yourself. That statement
But
about having 15% margin?
50.
Oh, okay, that's more accurate then, yeah.
No, but Ape Daddy makes a good point that if you ever try to sell something online, it is a bit of a pain in the ass. You got to go get shipping, and you got to, there's fraud, there's this, there's that. It's kind of easier to just go in there and get some money for it. But I do think you're going to get less.
Absolutely. But on that point, like the PSA cards, right? They sell at PSAonline.com price levels. So if you have a card that's graded 8 or higher, you can go into GameStop and get cash for that card based on PSA's going rate. It's kind of a win-win. It's like a collateral on their books that's worth street value. You know what I mean?
Well, it's still maybe they can turn around the business and become a collectibles used product kind of company. But
Yeah, that's probably a good pivot for them.
But it needs to show up in revenue and earnings, which this quarter wasn't so great, and
Absolutely agree, but they
Oh,
did
yeah,
list
that's-
their earnings early, Martin. They did
That's
list
what I'm saying.
it early and say,
Yeah.
hey,
it's a bad quarter.
this is what we have. Oh, wait, we're going to sell 45 million shares and gain $937 million on our books, so now we have $2.1 billion.
Well, anyone can sell shares and get more cash, right?
Yo, are you the retard that photoshopped a dick on my face and then sent it to me?
I didn't do that. Someone else did, but I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Hey, short it though. I'm not going to get into an argument with you. I'm happy that you saw that.
No,
You
I am gonna short it, and we'll see how it goes. I posted my trade for you. I'll follow with you tomorrow.
Well,
Much respect for that though. If you posted it and I didn't see it yet, much respect.
yeah. So getting back to the point at hand, the Q1 pre-announcement seemed really bad to me. 882 for revenue is the lowest the company's had in revenue in a really long time. I don't interpret.
Console cycle though, Martin.
I've looked at the console. I looked at the
Christmas isn't a big time. I
I'm
don't
glad-
wanna interrupt you, but like,
Wait,
man,
whoa,
what's
whoa.
coming out?
Hold on. Slow down. I'm not a retail guy, but I know Christmas is a very important time for retail. And in terms of console cycle, I looked at that. And one, they don't get good margins on hardware. It's the lowest margin business. And two, I marked down all the console stuff for each cycle, and there was no real appreciable signal there. So it's not like, revenue was just flat. It's flat as a rock. The only big thing that changed was around COVID.